Hello everybody, this is Edgar Fernandez. I'm participating for the 2018 Western Region Councillor elections. And it has been very interesting actually. Um, um, I'm touching base with many professional engineers using social media networking events, and some of them actually calling by phone to know exactly what they think. And I'm reaching people from outside of PEO. As we know, 85% of the engineers they don't participate with the PEO, and only 15% with and only 50% vote actually. That's the right statistics. 85% don't vote, 15% only. And actually, I've been talking with a lot of engineers. Actually, one of the duties of a regional councillor or any councillor in the PEO is to reach and build those relationships with the students, with the graduates, EITs, and other fellow professional engineers as well, and with the society, not necessarily PNGs. And the reason why it's to, like I said, build those relationships. And I have talked to many of them, um, reaching them, to know exactly what they think. That 85%. And PO, the one of the biggest issues that PO has is communication. I'm not agree with that. After reaching those 85% of my fellow colleagues, students, AITs, and professional engineers, communication is the consequence, it's not the cause. The cause is the lack of relationships. We haven't built the relationships with our fellow engineers. I mean, Periscope in life as well. So that's the main cause. So I'm using pretty much the same philosophy as safety engineer. So the process safety engineer, so we look for the cause and then we analyze the consequence. The consequence obviously is lack communication, but how we want to have communication when we don't have any relationships? And that's actually the biggest issue of PEO. However, I mean, finding these problems help us to make the profession and the PEO stronger in the future. That's engaging. If we are a PEO, we are expecting that all other fellows, colleagues engage us. That's not going to happen. So we need to do it the other way. And so, as a candidate, and the thing that I promise is to carry my duties with responsibilities. And one of my duties is to engage and build those relationships with you. And I started doing that by contacting you by phone, by social media, and by phone. But also, if I'm elected, you vote for me, I'm gonna use the chapters. Chapters, that's the good tool to reach um, people and start building those relationships. So that's the thing that I'm doing, and actually that I found these many answers also, but it's the same cause. All those the answers are the consequence of not building those relationships. So I want to answer some of them. I've been participating with the other candidates, and we have met, sorry, every Sunday, and we discuss a series of questions, and also some other professional engineers they ask questions to us, and then we try to answer in the best capabilities to those ones. So the number one, actually, in general, is the enforcement and compliance. What more can PO enforcement committee do to stop non-engineers from practicing engineering? Well, like I said on my other video, actually, in my previous video 2 weeks ago, we need to engage the students, not at the graduate stage, way before, to let them know, to engage them and train them in how important the profession it is, what regulations, what the code of ethics we need to obey and need to follow, what are our rights and what are our duties, and start doing that through the chapters. Actually, we have here in the Western region, we have University of Windsor, Western University, McMaster, and Waterloo, plus other college like Mohawk, Fanshawe College. So all these students, we need to engage them. We need to build those relationships during those 4 years to have at the end enroll them as an EITs and then as a professional engineers. And absolutely something that we have done is that we need to listen to them and include them. Why I'm answering this question in that way? Because how we want to enforce and stop no engineers from practicing engineering. Well, we need to engage. We need to engage. Actually, we need to have this plan in place to work with them together to find a solution on this, and then the enforcement committee can do their job. We don't have communication. We don't have relationship. It's very difficult for a committee of enforcement in a PEO to do this because of that. That's, I think, is the answer. It's the causes. I'm seeing that we are battling and we try to fix the consequences, like lack of communication, lack of engagement, etc., from the members when we don't see the causes of what is causing what causes are causing these issues. So, and I think we need to deep in our inside of PEO as well. So, what we can do more as an enforcement committee, actually, that's a consequence. So we need to build those relationships. We need to engage those students and the students. Sorry, and then we once we have that relationship, that synergy. So now enforcement can do the job. So I think that's my answer. Industrial exception. That's a second question. So industrial exception is what strategy do you propose that PO use to address this issue? Well, there is an well, I think after we have the incident of Elliot Lake in Saint Marie, the professional suffered, got a little bit damaged. So we need to also, as we need to build a relationship with the students and with the graduates and with the university in general and colleges, we need to build a relationship with the industry. We need to help the industry, especially small businesses. One of the things that I heard, for example, small businesses, they are in favor of industrial exception, and the reason why is cost. It's mainly cost. So what we can do to help those businesses, small businesses, to have engineers doing engineering work and keep the safety of the public in good hands. Well, we need to, as I think we can use OSPE and PO and OSPE, they need to work together on what model we need to bring to the industry to promote the profession and make engineers do the engineering work. How we want to support the industry on that. Some small businesses, they don't have money to hire an engineer. It's too much. That's the answer that I heard. So how we want to support them. So it's something that PO and OSPE, we need to bring together that solution and provide that support. For now, the industrial exception is going to continue. I'm not seeing. I'm seeing in the future maybe it can disappear, but for now we need to make that a lot of efforts to gain the trust of the government first and the trust of the industry. I'm not saying the trust because they don't trust on engineering. It's the trust on the way of building relationships. You build a relationship, they're gonna trust on you for a long time. So we need to do that, and once we do that, the industrial exception is gonna disappear. So that's the strategy that I propose. Creating material and value to the small businesses. In other words, help them. So if I don't have money, they can reach PO or POs or OSPE to find a solution. And actually, why not to create a task force that is hands-on to the industry to help them? For example, PSSR, Health and Safety Reviews. Industrial, is the Ontario Regulation 51, Section 7, So you can do PSSRs for machine guarding, for robotics, for combustible powders operations, for flammable liquids operations, spray boots, all of that of things, right? This machine guarding is flammable liquids, combustible powders, spray boots. There are 7 disciplines. I don't remember the others. I don't have the code with me, but those are the industrial hygiene. That's the other toxics. So having those hands-on tasks that composed or performed by members that have that expertise and help those small businesses is going to add value to them, and we're going to get the support from to eliminate industrial exception. Number 3, emerging disciplines. What should PEO address on emerging disciplines, and how do you propose the PEO bring a full licensure to the software engineering, nanomolecular engineering, and other ones? Well, this is we need to be inclusive. This is an historical issue. It started with the Microsoft engineering. And actually, one of the things that we made actually was a mistake from us as a PEO. It's not including this new emerging discipline. We said you cannot use engineering work because it's regulated in Canada. There is nothing wrong about it. But that's it. And we never engaged them. Now the future is on us. And actually, now PEO is as a PEO, we are not responding according to those necessities of the industry and the society. So now we have these new disciplines and new engineers that, to be honest with you, they are not interested to get a PhD. And that's the answer of the first question. Is so remember, it's like a business. If you do a bad job, that is gonna go mouth to mouth. So not being inclusive and not engaging these new engineers is not going to help us at all. At the end, all these questions that I'm going to mention is all about relationships. That's the cause, the consequence. Well, and then after we can do whatever we need to do, strategies at PEO to respond those or to solve those causes. So to get more engaging from these new disciplines, we need to know what the society needs, and I think it's something. It's another cause that PEO we need to solve. Is what are the needs of the society? What are the needs of the society? What does the public need? What does the industry need? What are the new technologies outside? We cannot solve problems or issues through our own eyes, and saying we need to do this, we need to engage more, or it's lack of engagement, people are not interested. Absolutely are not. The numbers actually show it. So the voting percentage is dropping from last year. So, and then there are new disciplines going up. So what's going on? Voting it's going down, disciplines is going up. So that's a lack of inclusiveness. So we need to use the chapters to go to the universities and try and be the voice of PEO and trying to help them and try to learn. And first is to learn what those disciplines are doing to our society, the benefit, because there are benefits. Ask questions to the deans and to the engineers and PhDs, and then now we can act. So that's the way that we can engage and how we can license those. And actually, it's obviously been recognized the discipline by Engineers Canada, and then bring those engineers to the PEO. But we need to offer the value of being an engineer, and what responsibilities we have. And like I said at the beginning of my video, start promoting actually the regulation at the university. So what we can do at the second part of the strategy is PEO needs to promote. Yeah, absolutely. PEO now, they say we don't promote, we are reporting regulator. Well, I'm not agree with that. And this is the second time that I said it. Why I'm not agree with that? Why I don't agree with that? Because you are the body regulator, you promote the regulation. You engage them and see what the profession is important to protect the public of the safety. It's not OSPE, it's a regulator. OSPE promotes the profession, but the body regulator is PEO, not OSPE. So PEO has a duty to promote the regulation. So that's the thing that I proposed. The fourth question is innovation and entrepreneurship. Absolutely. What does relate to the PEO mandate? That's an interesting question. Um, like I said, we need to engage. There are a lot of new students actually. I was touching, contacting some of them at the Waterloo region. And well, you have the Grand River chapter, right? You have those universities. You have you have no Western. You have Wealth and Waterloo. And it's very interesting, actually. Waterloo, Kitchener is the area that they call nowadays the Silicon Valley of the North. Obviously, many engineers that are part of that engine that are making that region so great. The dynamics is very interesting. So the PO needs to mandate that as a discipline of engineer. Yes, you have the title of engineer, you have the duty to be licensed. That's not that about it. Because you are accountable for your actions and for the designs that you are doing. And at the end, it's to protect the public of the safety. But how we can support those entrepreneurships between OSPE and PEO, and thus how we can be at the same level of the changes, innovation, for example. On the meeting of today, actually, with other candidates, we have that question. So, and then there was a response from one of the candidates. PO is not is not at the same level of the changes, and the reason why is because we are trying to solve the problems with the old model. So therefore, the status quo doesn't help at all. Sorry to say, that is a true honesty. So the things that we need to do is to support. First, we need to know what an entrepreneurship is and PO, what an engineer entrepreneur is. So what are the things that these entrepreneurs are doing right now as a consultant or creating new technology? What is the way that they are thinking? It's not an engineer that works in a company and an engineer who's an entrepreneurship doesn't they don't think in the same way, believe me. They don't, not at all. It's day and night. So if I engage an entrepreneur engineer, sorry, with this model, PO absolutely is not gonna do well. So we need to engage more. We need to learn more, and promoting the regulation and how important what those engineering means and the profession means in this new era. And that starts from the students. We need to go to the students. As an innovation, well, we need to create some task force. And actually, that I heard that there are already one in OSPE about innovation. But also, so what we need to do to engage them. And the most important is what we want to learn. So PO is now on the stage that we need to learn what is going on outside, what those innovations are, and how these engineers are creating those innovations to regulate them, actually. Number 5, chapter reforming regulation. Those PO chapters need to be reformed to better address regulatory issues. Should PO chapters be involved in regulatory matters? Should OSPE play a stronger role in interacting with PO chapters? Like I said, the first one, it's to better address regulatory issues. Well, first, you need to build the relationships. The reason why they are not contacting the chapter is because we are not contacting them. And I have many answers very similar. So, and actually, sometimes they don't know who is the president or the chair of the chapter, because we don't engage them. Should PEO chapters be involved in regulatory matters? At least we need to listen those regulatory matters and communicate to for example, the enforcement committee or the discipline committee. How we can be involved, to detect something, I don't think so, but obviously how we need to be approachable, absolutely. Should OSPE play a stronger role in interacting with the PEO chapters? Absolutely. Now, there is no connection at all between both organizations, and because we have this discussion, that is, we are regulators, there are promoters, and if I not win, I encourage the councillors that they're gonna win, that this model is not working, this perspective is not working anymore, and that discussion needs to end. So we need to work together, and then to make this to make the profession stronger. Confidence in the profession, in the profession by the public, image of the profession. What can PEO do to improve the image of the profession? Relationships. There is nothing else. And I found actually many answers from my fellow engineers that the industry right now actually is using the PNG to segregate. Yeah, you have the PNG, you're gonna have the interview. You don't have it, you don't get your resume passed from human resources, and that is a really cold reality. In some industries, actually, they don't care about if you're a PNG or not. Companies, they suffer, and I have heard that they don't care. So what we can do is to engage first members or engineers, ITs, and then engage the industry, chambers, government, have a task force with to engage in those Minister of Labor, work with them to update code standards with the CSA, for example, with the Minister of Environment, with the Minister of Transport in Ontario, engage them. Actually, the GLP program in PEO is, I think, is one of the best. It's really working very, very well. But also we can use that to engage the technical path, to help the government, and that is when the image is gonna be better. Also, we have a lot of some in the engineers now practicing without license. Once we have that relationship, and once the industry recognizes the importance of the PEO and OSPE and the profession, now we want to have somebody in our side, and that they're gonna be the enforcers as well. That, right, you don't have a license, you cannot work, and I'm gonna report you. Those type of things. So I think it's that. EIT and graduates. Should the EITs have representative on council? Absolutely. And why? Well, first, there are engineers that they are not licensed, but are on the way or the path that they're going to do it. Therefore, once they get the EIT status, they start following or being under the regulations of PEO. Therefore, they have the right, as they have the duty to follow those PEO regulations. So they have the right to vote, and they have the right to be represented. So absolutely, I'm in favor. Why? Well, first, they're gonna feel part of PEO. It's like but still you are not licensed, you cannot vote. Well, but I'm in the path to be an engineer. So once you get the status to be an engineer, the EIT, so that's pretty sure that they're gonna get the license. Yeah, obviously they comply with the requirements, right? So yeah, they need to be represented, and the right to vote. Represented, why? Also, because they are the guys actually that they're gonna be entrepreneurs. They are very involved in the disruptive technologies and challenges. Why not to listen to them? They need to be listened to them. PEEC and CPD, what is your position on these topics? Well, like I said, actually, well, I want to ask people this. What, and actually in some of the discussions I have heard that we are responsible to report our own development. I agree with that partially, but how we would demonstrate the accountability, our accountability to the society. It's not to PEO, it's to the society. I think PEEC and CPD, as many other professions, they are doing that. Why not us? And also, I'm having troubles when somebody I'm seeing against PEEC, etc. So how you gonna demonstrate your accountability, or you don't want to demonstrate it? That's one issue. Second issue, what do you propose instead of using PEEC and CPD to demonstrate to the society that we are accountable of our actions? Society is demanding that it's not enough the answer that we are providing, that oh we are responsible ourselves. No. So we need to demonstrate to the society that we're responsible. So I'm in favor of PEEC. Also I'm a safety professional. So and also I'm a PH under APEGA, so I'm used to CPDs. So many professions and many other associations for engineering, they are doing that, and also still we're discussing this. It's the type of discussions that are not helping PEO to make the profession stronger, believe me. Council structure. What is your position on eliminate all PH LGS, leaving only late LGAs? There are more disciplines in engineering than the total number of the councillors. Should PEO undergo a metamorphosis into a two-tier structure similar to the new College of Trades? Explain your position. Well, eliminating all PH LGAs. Well, we need to have actually representation of the society. That means non-PHs. And that we want to have a better understanding and a better touch about what society is asking for, what the government is asking for. But eliminated all PH? No. No, I don't think so. But have the mix, it's going to be better. Metamorphosis, to be honest with you, I don't know the new College of Trades model, but I know something that is sure. PEO needs to change. I don't know if the new College of Trades model is going to work, but we need to change. The old model is not working. The status quo is not working. And now we are seeing the boats are dropping from 2017. Imagine what's going to be 2019 and what's going to be 2020. So yeah, we need to change, absolutely. We need to engage more. We need to know what the society needs. And I'm giving these type of answers because once we have that understanding, we can restructure whatever we want. We can enforce more, we can restructure councils, we can expand of the responsibilities of the chapters. But if we don't have those relationships, any of these questions cannot be answered. That's the thing. We need to know. We need to listen, we need to ask, and we need to act. 10. What is your position of the current PEO strategy plan? Be specific or any points where you differ. Well, I don't differ on any of the points. The only thing that I don't differ in any points. I want to put it in this way. What is the plan for PEO from now to 10 years? This plan is really good, but it's going to solve the problems in the future that we have. Yes, but I don't know in what percentage. We need to start from somewhere, and the plan is good, absolutely. But we need to see the future, and we need to plan for the next 10 years. That's the thing that we need to do. And now we are planning for the next 2 years. Excellent. No doubt about it. It's a good plan. I don't differ on anything. But now we need to plan on the next, from here to 2028. That's the thing that we need to know. one. And second, we need to identify the causes, and then we need to tackle the consequences. That's a very important thing. Actually, in my second video, I mentioned 10 fundamental causes, and that they have a very powerful consequences on PEO. And actually, this question addresses all of those ones. And one of the causes is relationships, and actually is the main one. And how we need to address the engineering nowadays, accountability, and etc. Election process. Election process. There has been several complaints about the election process dealing with the items such as the security of voting process, electronic paper credentials and bailouts. Voter turnout is extremely low. What do you propose to help to deal with such questions? Okay. I think the last question is the most important. Technology sometimes fails. That we need to improve, absolutely, but that we can fix. That can be fixed right away. The thing cannot be fixed right away. It's what the votes turn out. It's very low. Very low. Sorry. Relationships, and those relationships you don't build them overnight. Not even in 1 year. 2, 3. Once you build relationships, you have trust. When you have trust, you have engagement. When you have engagement, everybody votes, everybody participates, everybody have ideas, everybody expresses those ideas, and then you're going to have a very strong relation, PEO, OSPE, with the others. So what I propose is engage. But now the other way is PEO needs to go to the streets, mainly, needs to pick the phone, go in person, using that's the thing that I want to do, using the chapters, but I'm making myself available actually. So because it's something that you need to make yourself as a counselor. You need to make yourself available. Universities wants to talk to you. Students that want to talk to you. EITs, industry, fellow engineers, retired engineers. Everybody wants to talk to you. And actually, it's something that I found in these conversations with many of the engineers. And it's very interesting, sometimes very disappointing. But instead of getting mad or frustrated, I want to know the reason why. That person is saying he doesn't care, he's not interested in both. So by concluding this video, the things that I want to do is build those relationships, keep in touch with you, with students, with graduates, with professional engineers currently practicing, with professional engineers that are not practicing, and with retired engineers. We need to do that. And also with the society, with other people that are not engineers. So we need to know how we can do that. Well, we can, one of the things is to participate more with the, actually the government liaison program is really good. So we need to keep putting more participation on that to make that program stronger. And now is one of the strongest one. It's something that I'm very amazed. Also, to participate with the municipalities, for example, be a members of the Chamber of Commerce. That's a way to promote. Absolutely, why not? And they actually, PO participates with the universities. And nowadays, so increase that participation. So actually, as a counselor, one of my duties is to be there, participating with the universities, with these committees, and to be make my presence and representing PO at the universities as well. What I'm doing now, I love to help, and I like to talk to people, and I like to build relationships. And I think this is a good cause to support PO. And that's the things that I want to do if I'm elected as a Western Region Councillor. Please vote for me, and if not, please vote. I think one of the to make a PO stronger and make the profession stronger is to vote, exercise that right. Thank you very much. I appreciate this time. I think I'm answering the questions in a different way because I'm seeing the causes first. After we want to fix them, we identify further causes, and then after we can tackle the consequences. And I encourage my fellow councillors, if I win, is to break the status quo, engage more people, have those discussions outside, bring them inside of the council, and then we move on. Because now we are trapped in discussions like OSPE is this, PEO is this, and then no information, no work together. And that's something that is making a bad image to us, is damaging that image to the profession as well. Thank you very much, guys. Have an excellent day. Have an excellent weekend. Drive safe because the weather is crappy. It's a freezing rain and a lot of icy roads. So be careful. Thank you very much, guys. Have an excellent week. See you. Bye. Yeah, yeah, yeah.